laughing.
Are you kidding me? Look at the rag she's wearing and look at us. Any other ridiculous excuses?
No, sir. Here's the teddy bear. I'm sorry.
I better not see you here again.
I trudged out of the mall, but before I could take 2 steps, a guy who looked like a special agent grabbed my arm. Hey, James Bond wannabe, let me go!
Shh, I'm under orders to take you to the roof.
What orders? The guy dragged me onto the mall roof. There was a helipad on it. I recognized the family sitting in the helicopter.
What's your name?
Taylor Swift?
You lie about as well as you steal.
Okay, my name's Candy Palmer. What is it to you?
We're asking the questions here. Why did you try to steal the toy?
I live in an orphanage and I don't have any money. I wanted to give it to a little girl. They exchanged meaningful glances when they heard that. That was suspicious.
She's desperate and driven. Perfect.
Their bodyguard got into the helicopter and they flew away. I scratched the back of my head, puzzled. What was that all about? When I got back to the orphanage, I saw Naomi cheerfully packing. Are you wondering why I'm so happy?
Hasn't even crossed my mind.
I'm being adopted by the Ramseys. They're billionaires. I'm leaving this dump tomorrow. That ruined my mood. Naomi was such a witch. She hadn't done a good thing in her life. Why did she get so lucky? It sucked. The next morning, all the kids went outside to watch Naomi being picked up by her new family. Bye, losers! Candy, where's my teddy bear? I tried to think of a lie, but then a truck drove up to our orphanage and dumped a mountain of different toys onto our lawn. All the kids happily dove into the pile. Louise found a teddy bear that looked very similar to hers. I saw a cool car parked nearby. The rich people I'd met the day before got out of it. This is your doing?
It is. You needed a teddy bear, and we are too rich to give anyone just one toy, so we brought the whole store.
Who are you guys?
We're the Kingsleys. We're Trillionaires, and we are adopting you.
I was so shocked I couldn't move, and there was only one question spinning in my head. Why did they choose me? A few days after that, I packed my things and came to say goodbye to Louise. Are you leaving? Yeah, but I promise I'll come back to see you. You smell like homemade cookies. I'll miss you. I'll miss you too, sweetie. The Kingsley sent a helicopter to pick me up. It flew me to a huge mansion that looked more like a palace. Whoa, do you really live here?
Most of the time. We have 15 houses all over the world.
16, actually.
I bought a bungalow in the Alps yesterday. Oh, okay, honey.
My adoptive parents and new sister Caroline seemed very friendly. I'd even say too friendly. I had a bad feeling about it. That's cool, but I need to know, why did you decide to adopt me?
That's simple. We weren't always rich. My wife and I grew up in an orphanage and achieved everything by ourselves.
We were where you are now, Candy, and we want to give you a new life. Their words calmed me down. It seemed like the Kingsleys were good people, and now I was a part of their filthy rich family. Caroline got amazing stylists to come to our house and help me get ready for my first day at a private school. Am I going to a school or to a fashion show? Sis, we are the richest girls at school. We need to look accordingly. The school building was more luxurious than I expected, and I couldn't stop looking around. Wow, is that a chocolate fountain? I was so busy staring around I bumped into someone, and that someone cried out in a suspiciously familiar voice. Oh no, it couldn't be. Ouch, you stepped on my expensive shoes! Wait, Candy? What are you doing here? Security, a beggar sneaked in here! Naomi made a huge scene when she recognized me. However, instead of a security guard, a gorgeous guy came up to us.
What's wrong?
She isn't one of us. She's poor. We need to throw this imposter out of here, brother. Brother? Oh, that guy was probably a Ramsey. I wanted to grin and tell Naomi I'd been adopted by Trillionaires, but before I could say anything, Caroline did it for me. Candy is not an imposter. She's a Kingsley, and we're sisters now. I can't believe it! Candy is richer than me? Now get lost, morons. Don't mind Harry and his dumb sister. They are poor billionaires, and they will always envy us. After school, Caroline suggested we get on a private jet and go to Paris for fresh croissants. But I had other plans. I bought a cake and came to my orphanage to hang out with the kids there. Hello, where's Louise? Probably crying under the stairs again. What? She really was in tears when I found her. What's wrong, sweetie? I hate it here. I feel so bad and lonely. I hugged her and promised I would think of something. Then I spent the rest of the evening playing soccer with the kids. At some point, a limousine stopped in front of the orphanage, but it drove away a minute later, so I didn't pay it any mind. That was a mistake. The next morning, Naomi showed the whole school photos of me she'd taken the day before. Look, it's Candy hanging out with the orphans. Stay away from her. What if she has lice? You seem to have forgotten how hard life at the orphanage is. Well, let me remind you. Harry's Save me! That psycho's gone berserk!
Naomi, you started it. Get lost. You're getting on my nerves. You're still friends with the kids from the orphanage, even though you're rich now?
Yeah, so?
You're not a real Kingsley then. You're different. Kind. I like it.
Was it my imagination, or was Harry flirting with me? We chatted all through the recess while Naomi was stewing and glaring at us. At dinner that evening, I finally decided to ask my adoptive parents something I had been thinking about for a while. Listen, could you maybe adopt Louise too? She's very lonely in the orphanage. She needs a family. Oh, this is so touching, Candy. I promise we'll think about it.
But only after the event.
What event? You'll find out soon enough, sis. Soon, they brought me to a wildly pretentious dinner party. It seemed like only billionaires and their heirs had been invited. At first, the adults were making boring small talk, but then things got weird. My son is taking part in you-know-what this year? I'm so worried about him. I get it, dear, but it's our tradition. We shouldn't break it. My stomach was in knots by the time the adults announced they were going to discuss some kind of secret ceremony and locked themselves in a huge hall. I opened the door a crack to eavesdrop on them, but then someone put a hand on my shoulder. I flinched, but quickly realized it was just Harry.
This party is so boring. Let's get out of here.
His dreamy blue eyes must have hypnotized me, because I agreed without hesitation. We sat on the roof under the starry sky and chatted about everything that came to mind. Besides having a huge bank account, Harry also had a huge heart, so we got along easily. Do you know anything about the adults' super secret meeting?
Candy, it's about time you found out the truth. The richest people in our country belong to a secret order.
Seriously?
I'm kidding. You should have seen your face.
Dang, I almost fell for it. By the time we got back to the party, all the adults and their children had left. Mr. and Mrs. Kingsley also took my hand and we boarded our helicopter. Where are we going?
It's time, Candy.
Time for what? For the rite of passage. It's an ancient tradition for our secret order. According to the rules, one child from each family must take in the great games and pass all the tests after they turn 17. The enormity of what was happening sent a shiver down my spine. Harry hadn't been joking. Wait a minute. He brought me to the roof so that I wouldn't find out the truth before it was too late. Harry was in cahoots with those wackos.
The truth is, we only adopted you so that you would take part in these dangerous games instead of Caroline.
Believe it or not, I figured that part out. That's why you were so kind to me. But I'm not going to take part in your stupid Hunger Games.
Candy, if you pass all the tests, you'll become a real Kingsley. Our riches will be yours. And we're going to adopt Louise too.
They knew exactly what to say. I really wanted Louise to have a family, so I swallowed my pride and accepted their offer. The helicopter dropped me off on an island and flew away. It was night, and I was in a forest with a dozen kids my age. I saw Naomi among them. The Ramseys must have adopted her just so she would take part in the games instead of Harry. How could I be so wrong about him? Soon, the host of the idiotic games appeared and told us about our first task.
You need to find food and sleeping bags and spend the night in the forest. May the worthiest win!
We heard a horn sound and rushed into the forest. I fell into a muddy puddle because Naomi pushed me. She did that on purpose. It's nothing personal, Candy, but my adoptive parents will send me back to the orphanage if I lose here. I didn't try to get back at her to save my strength. After that, I wandered through the dark forest for several hours until I saw a bag of supplies tied to the top of a tree. The branches painfully scratched my face and hands, but I still climbed up the tree and took the bag. I just settled down for the night when I heard a rustle in the bushes. I was afraid there was a bear hiding there. Then I saw who it was and realized I would have preferred a bear.
Candy, I'm so sorry you became a toy in the hands of bored rich people. They have everything, so they come up with new ways to entertain themselves. I refuse to take part in the games, and my parents adopted Naomi. I don't like this at all.
Like I'd buy that. Just get lost.
I came here for you. Let's get out of here.
Not this time. You knew what a terrible cult your parents and their friends were in, but you didn't do anything to stop them. I need to take care of Louise. I climbed into the sleeping bag, and Harry had no other choice but to leave. In the morning, the second round of games began. I had to get to the other side of a river. The water was cold and the current was fast, so it was by no means easy. I found a log and used it to reach the opposite shore. The host was there to meet me.
Here comes our second finalist. The rest of the participants failed the final task, and now you will fight your opponent, and we will find out the name of the winner of the Great Games.
He nodded towards a small stage. Naomi was already on it. She was holding some kind of wooden stick. Get over here. Let's find out who's better once and for all. Challenge accepted. After our unusual ring rose into the air, the host shouted that whoever pushed the opponent off the stage would win. I got into a fighting pose and was about to strike. But then I noticed that we were being filmed. I imagined the Kingsleys and the rest of the rich scumbags watching our reality show, and it made my blood boil. I'm not going to fight you. Hear that, moneybags? I'm not a circus monkey. Ha! This is going to be easy. Naomi resolutely came up to me, but then she